Hello, this is Andreas from Nordic Tarot. This time around I brought you a love reading for the start of October. And as always, these readings are general. So not everyone's gonna have a message, it's not gonna resonate with everyone, and I'm sorry if it doesn't. But as always, you can get more information about how to contact me and on the decks I use in the description below. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your readings. Hello Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. So, what's going on? Goodness me, you have a lot of court cards in your reading. So let's try and puzzle this out. In your underlying energy, you have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded and, realistic and focused. And as I feel like I say this in a lot of my videos, but just a reminder that even though you might be a man or someone with a lot of masculine energy, you can still show up as the Queen of Pentacles, or any queen. And the same goes for women and people with a lot of feminine energy in regards to the kings. Because this is a general reading and it's broader. And of course, the Queen of Pentacles showing up in your underlying, it can be someone else, but that person has to be quite integral to your life, or your energies be quite involved. Because usually the underlying energy, it will be yours, or be informing the situation somehow. But like, is this Queen of Pentacles you? Or because it's a general reading, maybe the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles are the same person. I hope that makes sense. But for example, I wouldn't say that the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles would be the same person. Because if you are the Queen of Pentacles, and then you have this underlying energy, it's permeating throughout the entire reading, so why would you be the Queen of Pentacles now, and then the King of Pentacles in the future, and then the outcome is also then the same person in a Pentacles kind of energy? So I think it makes more sense that the Queen of Pentacles is you, for example, and then the King of Pentacles in the future would then, be the king to the Queen of Pentacles. And yes, you are a fire sign, so you would be the Queen or King or Knight of Wands, but you can still show up as the other suits if you're like exhibiting those kinds of energies. And maybe you having the Queen of Pentacles in your underlying is just showing us that you're feeling very grounded at the moment, or maybe you're just feeling stable. And the reason I don't want to necessarily call it being grounded is because in your problem circumstance, or at the heart of the reading, you have the Two of Pentacles, which is this very grounded energy, but he's immediately crossed by the Queen of Swords, who is very good at detaching and not being grounded, being in her thoughts and being, elsewhere. But the Two of Pentacles is a card that is talking about this balance, and because you have to juggle these things, and Pentacles are, of course, very material things. It's a job, it's money, it's a house, it's doing work. It's the physical, it's tangible things. Like how swords are thoughts and cups are feelings. The pentacles are like the world around us, things we can touch and interact with. And the thing about the Two of Pentacles is that it requires a lot of focus, because this guy is juggling these pentacles, right? And that's kind of what the water behind him is indicating. And this card can sometimes be talking about maybe neglecting an area of our lives or of our spirits. Just how this guy is very focused on the material and the tangible and what's right in front of him with his work, with the Two of Pentacles. But behind him is this ocean or sea or, body of water, which of course represent our emotions. So because he's putting so much focus and concentration and work into these pentacles, then he's kind of not paying attention to what's going on behind him in his emotions. And I feel like if you are in that kind of mindset, or if that's what you're doing right now, then the Queen of Swords would definitely help you do that. She can detach. She can just look at what's in front of her, look at the facts and look at it logically, and not have to deal with a bunch of emotions at the same time. But is this you weighing up your options? Is the Two of Pentacles? Because the kind of thing about the Two of Pentacles is that it does require so much attention and concentration that at some point, do you put one of them down? It's like, okay, this is what I'm going with. Is this a choice? Is this you maintaining balance? And what's the balance about? Because then you have the Queen of Swords here as well. So is it something like, it kind of looks like ignoring love or your emotions. And I'm not saying you're doing this, but I'm just saying this is a possibility. It kind of looks like putting all your attention on work. And then the Queen of Swords is there as well, saying like, well, we don't really have time looking at our emotions. Let's just work. And that's the only thing we're going to do right now, because I don't want to look at this thing. And I mean, it could be that the Two of Pentacles being so stable, or it's about stability, it's about creating a balance, and it's about putting in that concentration and focus. Is the Queen of Swords, is she somewhere else? Is she thinking about something else? Is this Queen of Swords a person? Is this someone you're dealing with? Is this someone who's on your mind that is taking away some of that focus or concentration? And in your past, the past energy is the Page of Wands, which is, this can be you getting a piece of news. It can be, it's excitement, and it's kind of a minor version of the Ace of Wands. And it's kind of a minor version of the Ace of Wands. And this kid is holding the Ace of Wands. And, it's exploration and excitement, and it can be this like spark of something. And of course it can be, like I said, a piece of news. Did you receive a piece of news that then in the present created the energy of strength? And strength is inner strength, it's courage, it's being bold. So is it that you received a piece of news that was not very great, and it kind of had you have to be in the strength to use your inner strength and be courageous? Did you get excited about something, and the boldness of the strength card coupled with that has now made you very productive, maybe, or you're taking risks, which would be a very Aries kind of thing to do. I just feel like you're accomplishing something, that you are accomplishing something, or you have accomplished something. I mean, in the future, who is this King of Pentacles? Is this someone you meet? Because if you're feeling like Queen of Pentacles right now, and kind of like you're focusing on work, is this someone you meet through work? For example, like the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded. You meet someone who is equally grounded, who like has their feet on the ground and can take steps to building something together with, I was going to say, it doesn't look like a bad reading at all. Like, yes, there's some questions here, like the Two of Pentacles, but this work and this focus and maintaining some kind of balance, and maybe neglecting an area of like your life on purpose or not, I don't know. Like, who's the Queen of Swords regarding that? Is she helping you? Is this someone who's taking attention away from something, maybe? But is this you looking at this logically and saying, this is what I can do when I'm working, and taking steps toward this balance, right? And then the potential exploration or excitement or news from the Page of Wands, and then there's this courage or boldness currently in the present with the Strength card, and then potentially, and then having the potential of this King of Pentacles in the future, and this you meeting someone. And like I said, is it through work? And then your crowning energy is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is, like, the Knight of Cups is all about love, right? There's a few things to say about the Knight of Cups. Like, he is the knight in shining armor, he's the romantic. And his problem is that, and of course all the knights have their own issues, but the issue of the Knight of Cups is that he talks a good game, but he might have a hard time living up to that. And it's the same like with the Knight of Swords, for example. He can be unpredictable. The Knight of Wands is unreliable. The Knight of Pentacles is just really slow. But what is the Knight of Cups saying to you? Because this is kind of your advice card. Like, with the Two of Pentacles and having this body of water behind him and kind of ignoring that, and then the Queen of Swords there as well. The Knight of Cups, on the other hand, is, this can be someone, and it's usually someone when it's the Knight of Cups. And it can be someone offering love or friendship. But, then because it is your crowning and your advice card, is this you? Are the cards saying, well, maybe feeling and having emotions and feeling love, that's okay too. We understand that you have been working really hard with the Two of Pentacles, and maybe you are using the Queen of Swords to detach, the Queen of Swords kind of energy to detach at the same time. But they just feel so at odds, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Because the Queen of Pentacles is so grounded and the Queen of Swords is just so free-flowing, not attached in that way. It's the Two of Pentacles about creating that balance. That yes, you can do your work, and yes, there can be being grounded, but you can also have this Knight of Cups energy. Like, is this you offering love to someone or a friendship? And this is a love reading, so I'm gonna lean toward offering love, but I just thought I'd mention the possibilities. It looks like things are going well for you. Like, I'm definitely not saying it's not going well, but these are some things you might want to think about. I mean, in your feelings, you have the Three of Cups. This is coming together as a community. It's spending time with friends and family and other loved ones. But it's also celebration. Like, I feel like in your feelings, the external and the hopes and fears, you have some very interesting cards. Because, okay, let's say that the Three of Cups is a celebration. And the Three of Wands in your external energy, this is someone waiting for something to come in. They are waiting for their ships to come back because they've sent them out and they, pretty much know what to expect. And from the result of those ships coming back, then they can take more steps or make a decision or move on in some way. And then in your hopes and fears, you have the World, and the World is about a successful completion of a cycle. So is this what you're hoping for? Are you hoping that this is coming up? Are you hoping that what you recently experienced is that it was successfully completed? Are you worried that, or is it some kind of worry about that it won't be, that the world energy won't happen? Is that a worry you have? I don't necessarily think it's the worry bit, because it looks like you're celebrating already, like with the Three of Cups in your feelings. And then you have this Three of Wands energy about, expecting something coming back to you, or expecting a return on something. And this can be because this man is looking, or because this person is looking out over the water. It can also be that you're expecting something from overseas, or you have a long distance relationship, maybe so far as a different country, cross oceans. And then what is the world about in your hopes and fears? Is this that you're hoping to move on from something, that you're hoping to have finished something so you can move to the next thing? And your outcome card is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, like I said earlier, he can be considered very slow, but he is meticulous. He is diligent and he does the work correctly. And yes, he can be slow, but it's not because he's boring, it's because he's precise and makes sure everything is in place before moving on to the next step. Now, if this is an energy you want to embrace and make use of, then that's fantastic. Because the Knight of Pentacles energy is just a potential. This is what is potentially there for you if you move in a certain way through these energies, right? So if you don't want the Knight of Pentacles energy, you don't need to have it at all. But like I said, the Knight of Pentacles, yes, he can sound and seem and even be just really slow. And I can understand if for I can understand if for fire signs, it's just really difficult to handle that kind of thing. Because being slow, and that's not excitement, that's not passion, that's not throwing yourself out there and doing something interesting, that's not taking a risk. So I definitely understand if that's if you have issues with that, but at the same time, he is someone who gets the work done. Now, what's the work? I don't know. Is it work? Is it actual work? Is it you working, or is it working on yourself? Is it working on a relationship? I don't know. Overall, the reading looks quite positive, and you know, you got some really exciting cards, like your feelings for the Three of Cups. Is it spending time with people you love? Are you celebrating? I sincerely hope that everything goes well for you and you make great use of these potential energies that you have coming in. So that was your reading for this time around, and I really hope that you found a message, like I said at the beginning of this video. And I understand that it won't resonate with everyone, which is unfortunate. I wish it did, but you know, it is what it is in the end. But I really hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, I hope there was a message for you. And if you do want more information, if you want to book a reading, you know, my email is in the description below. If you did not get a message from the general reading, then maybe a personal reading will be more effective. So if you're curious, like I said, in the description below, you'll find how to contact me and some pricings. So, did you prefer the old readings I did? Did you prefer these love readings? I thought I'd more hone in on one area instead of, it just seemed a bit scattered to me, the old way I did things. You know, I'm playing around, I'm figuring out what I like to do and what works for me as well. So, you know, did you prefer the old ones? Do you like these ones? Do you like that it's love specific? Those are some questions I'm putting forth to my lovely audience. And once again, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel.